Hi, this is Prabhakarachari. Greetings from India. Namaste. Let us discuss about bezel setting. What is bezel setting? A bezel setting is a continuous rim that surrounds the gemstone in its place. The gemstone will not fall out. It holds the gemstone. That is called a bezel setting. A gold is hammered towards the stone until there is no gap between the gemstone and the gold. A thin metal rim which surrounds the gemstone and the engrave process which is done. Just leave some space around the stone. A rim of gold has been held to the gemstone. It makes the gemstone will not fall out. The gemstone in the bezel setting fixes well if it is done work good. The bezel setting is so hard. The bezel setting jewelry will be worn by artists, sports persons. The bezel setting which we can wear the gloves also and work. The gemstone will not come out. The graver is sharpened on the sharpened stone and the polished paper. If it is sharpened and it is polished, the glimpse of the gold looks great. If the glimpse of the gold looks great, then it glitters, it shines, so everybody likes it. It looks like a new ornament. If the ornament is done, then it can look like a new ornament. Hence, if the ornament with the engraved process looks nice, shine, and great, a thin rim of gold is left around South Sea pearl, which holds the gemstone in its place. The rest of gold has been engraved. The thin rim which surrounds the South Sea pearl is also engraved slightly so that it can shine. The gold that is left, that is hammered towards the South Sea pearl, is in a position of that it not glitter, and there is no soft which is hammered with the help of pin. Hence to give a soft lick, to make it glimpse. Engrave process has been done. In this engrave process, there should be a structure, pattern of designs which has to be engraved. Sometimes we stop the graver and lift the gold so that the design, a pattern like structure, comes in the gold. The engrave process is done with precision. If it is done with precision, the gold glimpses and looks soft. A glue is applied back of the gemstones so that when gold is covered with the help of a pin towards the gemstone, the gemstones will not fall out. The gemstone is applied with glue. The glue makes the gemstones will not fall out. The only glue is applied to the gemstones pearl-lined coral, which makes the gemstone fix in its place. When gold is hammered, it will not fall out. The glue makes the gemstone will not move from its place. It holds the gemstone in its place. The gold is totally covered around the gemstones. A thin rim-like structure is made around the gemstone so that the rim-like structure makes the gemstone will not fall out. When the gold is hammered towards the gemstone with the help of a tweezer and a pin, the gold is very soft. The 22-carat gold is very soft. It can cover towards the gemstone very easily. A thin rim-like structure is formed around the gemstone. There should be no gap between the gemstone and the gold. When there is no gap between the gemstone and the gold, then engrave process has been done. The pearl is covered with full gold of thin structure like a rim is formed around the gemstone. A thin structure like a rim which holds the pearl. A glow is came out from the gap surrounded by the gemstone. which is cleaned with the sharp needle so that a gap is formed, and again it is hammered. The gold, when hammered, the gap is filled, and a thin structure of gold surrounds the gemstone, which makes the gemstone will not fall out. An eye loop is used to detect the gap around the gemstone. If any gap is found, then a pin and tweezer is used to hammer the gold again towards the gemstone, so that a thin rim-like structure which is formed, a thin-like structure which holds the gemstone in its place, and the gemstone will not fall out. There is a gap around the gemstone. It is covered with the help of pin and a tweezer. The gold is hammered towards the gemstone. A pin is held in a 70-degree angle so that the gold is pushed around the gemstone. How to make a pin to hammer the gold towards the gemstone? A pin is made with damaged bead or grain tools. The point which is damaged of grain tools, that is rubbed on the sharpened stone, and a pin which is soft like design gets. The pin is not sharp, but it is soft, so that the gold moves towards the gemstone. A long tweezer is used to hammer the pin so that the gold should be moved towards the gemstone, and a thin rim like structure which surrounds the gemstone. It holds the gemstone in its place, and the gemstone will not fall out. A pin is used to hammer the gold towards the gemstone. The gold which is hammered is in a precision that it can cover the gemstone in a soft manner. If that is not covered the gemstone in a soft manner, then there is a problem to engrave. The engrave process should not be done well. If the gold is covered with a precision in a soft manner, then the process of engrave is very great. Bezel setting is a old process which is thousands of years back. Now it is came back again. A less gold is used to make the bezel setting ornaments, and a thin rim like gold which holds the gemstone in its place. We manufacture a unique gold ornaments with less gold. The gemstones are held by a thin rim of gold which makes the gemstones will not fall out. A glue which came out around the pearl which is cleaned with the help of a sharp needle so that a gap is found around the gemstone. Then it is again the gold is hammered towards the gemstone so that a thin rim-like structure is formed around the gemstone which holds the gemstone in its place. The pin is used to hammer the gold around the gemstone. Care has been taken while hammer the gold towards the gemstone so that if a pin touches the gemstone, then the gemstone gets any scratch marks or it may be damaged. An eye loop is used to find the gaps around the gemstone. If any gaps are found, then a pin and a long tweezer is used to hammer gold again towards the gemstone. After there is no gap is found, then there it is a process of engrave. I left some gold around the gemstone. A thin rim-like structure is formed around the gemstone which holds the gemstone in its place so that the gemstone will not fall out. A gold is engraved which is hammered towards the gemstone to give a glimpse to the ornament. The gold which is covered called a bezel setting with the help of a tweezer and a pin. Now it's a time to give a glimpse to the gold so that the gold will glitter and shines. It can now ready after it is engraved. The pearl belongs to moon. It cures high blood pressure. It has Ayurvedic medical properties. What is bezel setting? The bezel setting is a type of gemstone setting that surrounds and holds the center stone using a continuous band of metal. This setting, also known as rub over, holds the gem with a projecting lip that overlaps the edges of the stone. Only the crown of a bezel set gem is exposed. The bezel setting is one of the earliest settings for precious stones, with archaeological evidence of its use throughout history. Primitive examples of this simple setting involved creating a hole or slot for the stone in the metal and bending the metal over the edges of the stone. Is there any archaeological evidence of bezel setting in the early history? Yes, there are archaeological evidences found in the jewelry of ancient Egypt and the Roman and Byzantine empires. Is the bezel setting is a bold and uncompromising choice for an engagement ring. Yes, the bezel setting is a bold and uncompromising choice for an engagement ring. Turning heads wherever it is worn. This concise guide dishes on one of the oldest jewelry settings in the world, covering pros, cons, and everything else the modern couple needs to know. How many types of bezel setting are found? There are 6 types of bezel setting are found. Point number 1. Full bezel setting. Point number 2. Partial bezel setting. Point number 3. Split bezel setting. Point number 4. Low profile bezel setting. Point number 5. Plain bezel setting. Point number 6. Fancy bezel setting. Bezel setting engagement rings are versatile with popular styles including full bezel setting. The metal rim of the bezel setting completely wraps around the stone for a secure hold. Point number 2. Partial bezel setting. The metal setting only surrounds the center stone, exposing more of the stone and allowing in light. Point number 3. Split bezel setting. The stone is set in an almost full bezel with section splits. Point number 4. High set bezel setting. The stone in the bezel setting is set high against the band to increase its prominence. Point number 5. Low profile bezel setting. The stone is set flush to the band of the engagement ring, with the point of the stone within the ring and the margins of the stone surrounded by the band. Point number 6. Plain bezel setting. Plain bezel rings have an unadorned rim, a metal surrounding the center stone. Point number 7. Fancy bezel setting. Jewelers can further detail bezel engagement rings by adding micropave, a halo, milgrain detailing, or side stones to accent the bezel set center stone. Or bezel engagement rings are experiencing a revival in popularity. Yes, bezel engagement rings are experiencing a revival in popularity. The simplicity of a bezel setting elegantly sets the center stone in clean lines for a unique, discreet look. It does a great job of protecting the center stone. Perfect for dentists, artists, craftspeople, and anyone with active lifestyle. Perhaps most importantly, the bezel given a ring a unique look no other setting can replicate. And in the case of Prabhakar and Sons bezel rings, a row of dainty side stones adds magnificent side sparkle to the bezel metal strip. The bezel setting is one of the earliest settings for precious stones, with archaeological evidence of its use throughout history. Is the bezel setting works with any diamond cut? Yes, the bezel setting works with any diamond cut because the bezel setting is so simple. You can make it work with any diamond shape. The bezel design simply follows the outer edge of the stone. Choose a bezel setting for round brilliant cut diamonds, marquise diamonds, pure diamonds, oval diamonds. Our master setters skillfully use a minimal amount of metal to display as much of the stone as possible. Prabhakar and Sons bezel engagement rings make the center stone appear larger than its carat size to observers. If you and your intended are considering the bezel setting, here are some great reasons to go for it. Point number 1, a protective setting. Point number 2, perfect for an active lifestyle. Point number 3, fashionable. Point number 4, bezel settings make your stone appear larger. If you like this video, please share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.